The best way to get better at something is to practice. And in this example, we're going to be looking at the picture tag. This is a different way of adding an image that allows us to choose different sources of the image based upon the size of our screen or other situations like that. As always, this file is available for download using a link provided below in the description. We'll give you about 5 seconds so that you can pause this video, download the file, then you can choose to either follow along or attempt on your own and check your answer at the end. All right, so let's get started. We're going to come down to our code and find our code comment and then see the steps we need to do. The first step is we're going to add a picture element. This tag, we don't put in images or anything like that. And that's because where we actually define our image is in the source. I'm then going to define a new tag, the source tag. This tag is usable for displaying images, audio, video files, etc. So there's a lot of flexibility in here. The thing we're going to need is first we're going to need to specify the media attribute. So I'm going to specify media, and then I have in here some text that we can use, and that is min width 750. This is a special command which says, hey, if I'm at least 750 pixels, use this source. Media is not required because it may be for audio or video. So therefore, this is special and we want to include it to get the best value if we're using it for images. We also have a type. We're going to define the MIME type if we want to. We're going to ignore that for now, but we do want to specify the source set, and that is src set. It's going to equal our images, and then we're going to specify iPhone in jl.jpg and close our source tag. This is our biggest image that we're going to use in this particular case. And come over here and create a new source tag. We're going to have another media attribute, and this time we're going to specify the min width of 450. Specify the source set dot images slash and iPhone in jail dash smaller dot jpg. Now we could have a bunch of these listed for all different types of sizes. However, what we want to do is always end with an image tag. This is in case our browser doesn't support the picture and source tags. It also gives us a default image we can use. So I can specify image, source, and I'm going to pick no iPhone here, give it my alt attribute, and close my tag. When I right click and reveal in File Explorer this, double click on the HTML file, and now here you can see my image. Now notice that it's left justified and my text does not flow around it. That's because I did not use any floats. What I want to do is shrink the size of my browser. Now I'm using Firefox, and I can come over here in my hamburger menu, go to more tools, and then do things like responsive design mode. Here on a smaller screen, you'll notice that I have a completely different image. I can choose something different, for example, an iPad, and this shows my full size. Now, if you don't have the ability to test responsive design, you can simply come over here and grab the edge of your browser window and resize it. If you get to a small enough image, you'll notice that it changed the image. So I just put the smaller banner across it just so we knew we used a different one. What this will do is give you a different file to download depending upon the size of your screen. This means you're not using as much bandwidth and your web page appears more responsive. That's exactly what you want. In our next video, we're going to look at using images not as a foreground element like this, but as a background element to provide some design techniques and skills. Use the link on the screen in your video in order to go see that video next.